Hi. I think a lot of people who don't know me will be watching this video, so I should probably introduce myself. I'm Bram. I'm the leader of NHT, which is the Discord server that I own, and today I'm going to talk about the case of Cinder versus Aaron, which happened in NHT, and therefore I think it is important that I talk about it. And not only for that reason, but because I have been through this for the entire time, right? From beginning till now, I have been with Cinder and Aaron, and I've talked with them, and I have evidence, and I feel like it is important that I make not only a judgment, but this video announcement to tell you what my judgment is. And perhaps this will also be a video to, well, to make you start to reconsider things, hopefully. Now, I highly encourage you, very much so, to watch until the end of this video, because here's the thing, you don't need to agree with me. That's fine, right? This is not some kind of propaganda or whatever. You don't need to agree with me. But I think it is at least quite important that you're willing to take a view from every side. Now, if you're watching this, it is, well, you've probably only heard the story of one side. So, let me introduce the case here. The plaintiff is, well, Aaron, and the defendant is Cinder. Cinder has been accusing Aaron of doing quite creepy things that have made her uncomfortable, and, well, I'm here to discuss today, are those things really right? And are they, you know, is it fair towards Aaron, what he's dealing with now? And the conclusion that I've come to is kind of, let me tell you a story, and please bear with me here. I am going to make a conclusion at the end of this video. So about 1.5 years ago, I had a boyfriend. Now, a lot of you who are watching this won't know who that is, and I'd like to keep his identity private, but let's call him Dave. Now, Dave was a fantastic boyfriend. He was really lovely, but there was a problem. He was a liar. And one day, he gave me consent. And I think you all know what that means. And, well, we didn't really engage in, I suppose I should call it coitus. We didn't do that, but we did come close to it. And about a week later, he broke up with me, and he said that he was deeply uncomfortable with it. And to an extent, it scarred him. Now, here's the thing. Should people hate me for that? I don't think so. And I think, I've talked with Dave, and, we've come to the conclusion that no, I was not at fault there, and in fact Dave was at fault, because he gave me consent, even though he was uncomfortable with the situation. He lied, right? I couldn't have known any better. He lied about that. And I think, for a while, my entire reputation was ruined. People hated me. People really did. And people were unfriending me. They weren't talking to me anymore. I was depressed. I seriously was hurt. And, people were leaving my Discord server. I was, for a while, just socially isolated until one day I confronted him. I confronted Dave, and I said, Dave, you've lied. You lied to a lot of people. And luckily, people believed me, because I stood up for myself, and I told the truth. And ever since then, I will always speak the truth, and I will be blunt whenever I can speak the truth. Which is always. And just like then, I'm going to speak the truth. And the reason I'm making this video is because I feel sympathy towards both sides, but particularly Aaron. Now, I'm not siding with Aaron, but I think that my situation that I had a year ago is in parallel with this situation that he has. So think about it. You know, he got consent from Cinder, right? Cinder consented to being a slave, and, well, you know, all the sexual things that come with that. Explicitly. Not implicitly, explicitly, right? So, you know, all the things were talked about. Perhaps not entirely properly, but yeah, they were talked about, and Cinder gave consent. And, well, then it ended, and Cinder told everyone that she was deeply uncomfortable with Aaron, and that Aaron had been a creep. Do you see the correlation? Aaron is in almost exactly the same situation as I was, and he is now the one being accused of being a creep and all that. And I think that's deeply unfair. Now, Aaron, you know, has autism, and, you know, he has certain problems with social communications and interaction, and I'm standing up for him, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking a side, and I think that Cinder has, you know, some good arguments too, but I think that Aaron isn't completely in the wrong here, and I think that he got consent, right? He thought that Cinder was doing just fine, and I thought the same thing with Dave. You know, I thought Dave was having a great time. I thought that he was enjoying it, etc. But no, he wasn't, and Cinder wasn't either. So I don't think that Aaron deserves death threats. I don't think that he deserves to be told to die in a fire. I don't think he deserves to be harassed in his DM or any server. I don't think anyone does, especially not him, because he's not at fault. I think in that particular specific case, Cinder has lied. Well, perhaps not lied, but at least, you know, gave the wrong impressions of him. Aaron isn't a creep. I'd very much like to remind you that he was given consent, and he thought that Cinder was enjoying it. He did. So, I don't think it's fair. He couldn't have known any better. Cinder should have communicated better. Now that's where I get to my second point. And that's where we get to Cinder's side. And here's the thing, I completely understand that Cinder was uncomfortable with Aaron's actions, and therefore she didn't speak up. Right? I understand that. I completely get that. I can't say that I've been in the same situation, but I can say that I've been close to it, right? I've talked with Dave, and I know that, you know, I know how he felt, right? And that, you know, that's why me and Dave are still friends, and that's why we can talk about it, because we've shared our experiences. And, you know, I completely get that Cinder's uncomfortable, and I don't hate her. I still consider her maybe not friends, because we don't talk that much, but I still consider her an acquaintance and an okay person, a decent person, because, you know, she felt uncomfortable, and that's why she didn't say anything. So I don't think that she is, you know, an evil person or whatever. But I also don't think that Aaron is an evil person. That's why I'm not taking sides. So I think my conclusion here is really that both sides made some big mistakes. I don't think that Aaron is the kind of evil person who should deserve to die or whatever. No, he was lied to. He was lied to. Cinder lied to him. And I don't think that Cinder should be considered a bad person either. She was deeply uncomfortable. So I would like to stress to everyone involved with this to stop hating on Aaron and to stop hating on Cinder. This is completely pointless. It is, right? And, you know, it's just so ridiculous. Because you're all teenagers, right? If you're watching this, you're probably a teenager, or maybe even a preteen. And you guys, I mean, you just hear it from one side, and you say, okay, well, I guess I hate this person now. Really? Come on. Right, so I've given you, I haven't given you any evidence here, but I have given you something to think about, and I hope that you can therefore consider not hating either person, because this is ridiculous. It really is. And it's so ridiculous. And you don't have to agree with me here. And maybe you do disagree, and if you do, I highly encourage you to object to me, and, give me your arguments, perhaps in the comments down below, or perhaps on Discord, in my DM, in NHD, in any sort of hangout. I don't care. As long as you do it in a civil manner and you don't hate people, because no one deserves that hate. Not Aaron and not Cinder. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Seriously. Thank you. If you've made it to the end of this video, that's awesome. The fact that you've been able to sit here for 11 minutes, 12 minutes, because that's ultimately what matters. Thank you.